Favorite color is blue. No, that's it. Okay, thank you very much. My family is musical. My sister's a dancer. She danced on Broadway for over 20 years and then went into college teaching for dance and drama. And so I was the youngest of three, and so I was coming up in an environment where my mom was taking my sister to the ballet and they would play with a live orchestra, and I was around live music from a really early stage. Well, Rich, I think it's like many of us in this field is that there's one person or sometimes a couple people, but usually there's one really special person that touches you on the shoulder and says, hey, have you thought about this? And wow, and that person for me was Harold Johns. He was a percussion teacher at East Carolina University, heard me playing at a concert band festival in a high school, and went and found my band director and said, who's the kid playing timpani? And he called me and invited me down. And Harold is one of that generations of really starting colleges percussion programs. He's the first college teacher in North Carolina, probably in the South, one of the first in the South to develop a program. And he had such a beautiful musical touch, and he turned me on to the marimba and of course many other things too. But I think the marimba found me, I found a voice there. So I just started to explore that for certain. The Rhapsody mallets are, first off, the Rhapsody mallets are incredible. I've never played with a mallet like this. Here's the story about these, because I play a lot with orchestras and concertos and with ensembles, and the green mallets, as much as I love them, they are awesome, but when you get in an ensemble situation, they don't jump off the marimba as quickly. The sound, the articulation is warm and rich and full, but the articulation doesn't jump up. But with the Rhapsody mallets, I called Eric and George and Chris and said, I want to make a mallet that's a hard mallet, but yet retains the fundamental and doesn't become glassy at the top. In other words, we're not going to hear those high partials out of the wood. That typically happens with hard mallets. And they at first were like, I don't think we can do that. I think when you get hard, you hear those partials. I'm like, no, there's got to be a way. And so after a series of trying different mallets, Chris came upon a new chord that we've never used at IP, and he sent it to me. And as soon as I touched the instrument, I said, "Oh, we're onto it. This is going to be it." It started off with, I thought, oh, we're only going to make a couple of mallets. I just need a couple of series, but we realized, no, we have a whole line now. This is 4 levels of this hardness, and when you touch the instrument with the Rhapsody mallets, the instrument articulation just jumps off, but it's the fundamental that you're hearing, not the high partials that can come out of the bar. And so far, it doesn't have a xylophone kind of feel at the high end. It actually feels rich and full. And everybody at school, and I teach at a really big school, as you know, there's over 140 guys and gals taking lessons there. They come up and they have been testing these mallets there for the last 2 or 3 months, and they come up and play this, and they're all like, oh my goodness, it's different. It's really different. And that's really what's been the beginning of the creativity from the very start, is that we're always looking for new sounds and not trying to just recreate something that we've seen someone else do. We really had a sound in our heads, and that goes for all of our artists as well, I know. So that Rhapsody line, I think, is going to be well received. I think when you're looking for the right sound, that you can't become, using a joke, you can't be married to the mallet. Oh, I've been practicing with this mallet for the last 6 weeks, so that's the mallet I'm going to use. Well, you know what? You walk into the different room, the mallet doesn't work anymore. And but there are different degrees of tone quality and articulation that you can vary within a certain sound. The trick is to know what you're looking for, and also have the open mind to step away from the instrument and really listen. Because when we play the marimba, you don't hear it the same way that the audience hears it, who's maybe 25, 50 feet or more away. So it's so important to take those tools and have somebody play a little bit, or make a quality recording, of course, and listen. And does it really sound like what you have in your head? And many times especially in the early days, I would listen to the recording and go, oh, this isn't it. I thought it was this way, but it doesn't sound that way. I want more articulate, but it sounds too legato. Or I want legato and it sounds too articulate, or whatever. So I think the object here is when you pick into your mallet bag to what are you going to play, it's not that, oh, I like this artist or I like that artist or this color is nice or this color is nice. It has nothing to do with those things. Only thing that you're dealing with is sound. And the thing that students get confused with, and I think sometimes the public too, they talk about technique, but technique is sound. If the sound is great, if the sound is awesome, then the technique must be good, right? So if you're looking for sound always, if the sound is always the first choice, then this will usually lead you in the best path possible. And that's been my mantra over the years with myself and my students, to try to find the right sound and not to try to just use something because that's what we do. And because that usually leads into dead ends for me. But I can't tell you how proud I am to be associated with IP. I mean, this is a family. It's a family that has a super high integrity and quality, but also human. I love talking to them and laughing with them, and then getting really serious about what we're going to do and how we're going to create or solve a problem, and how we talk about sound. There is really, to me, in my experience, it's unique. And I don't know of another group of people like that I can share it and be as open with them, and for them to be as receptive and as supportive. And they're dear friends, and I look forward to many, many more years of making music.